All right. Welcome back to YAP with me. This is the fourth YAP with me session. I was trying to do weekly and then it became bi-weekly on a Saturday, but I didn't film it before, so I have nothing to edit. And then yesterday I was celebrating. I was just home and I didn't feel like doing it. And before that, I was celebrating Pride. And I was like, even if it's a few days late, I'm still within the 2 weeks. So looking back, like you can't be for sure. It was like if I post on the right date or not, unless I like you look at the date, right? And then I was just trying to find a topic. I was about to kind of like end it on the third, and I'm just like that's kind of not even like season, at least like 12 or like a mini series, like 8 episodes or something like that. And I was just having like the hardest time thinking of a topic. I do have like a list of things I want to talk about before, but I kind of want to make it authentic and then just things that is literally been going on my mind or like I just feel like worth talking to. Like having a list of topics doesn't mean you're gonna talk about it. You can have all the ideas, but doesn't mean you're gonna like explore them all. And I was just recreating this look. I did this one with Natasha Denona mini palette, the Xenon palette. I was obsessed with it like a couple years ago, like 3 years ago. And that videos when I first posted, it wasn't like the best, but it got like 15K views on TikTok and people still visiting it like until now. So I was like, let me like recreate, that look again with my new techniques and like evolved into it. And while I was doing the look, I was just like, what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about cultural appropriation, being yourself, performative, aesthetics, like all the topics you already talk about and kind of like explore a little bit. And I don't want it to repeat, but I kind of want to go deeper. I'm also freezing, so I'm like kind of like stuttering a little bit. And while I was doing this look, I was like, okay, I'm improving, blah, 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 blah. And then my brain just like, you know what? Why don't I talk about how to be authentically yourself? So that's gonna be the topic. I will probably just gonna post this. I'm not gonna like do any editing. So if there's like any fillers and stuff like that, I won't have a lot of like references, like anything specific. It's just in general. Before I was kind of want to explore. I feel like it's not like a solid idea of just like I'm just tired of the algorithm, the bubble that social media is putting me in. It's like even if you have different accounts, they're feeding you the same things that they think you like. That the algorithm thinks you like. I'm tired of AI art. I'm tired of just things. And then the things that I always explore is just like exploring myself of like why I do certain things, why I like something, and it's just the frustrations of not knowing drives me kind of like crazy. Sorry, my is itching, and also my hair is so blunt, it hurts. Okay, so I was like, what to talk about? And I was like, you know what, let's talk about what makes someone authentic, what makes them who they are, and what is being performative. Are you being performative if you're doing the things you do, even if it's labeled as, but you like it and you enjoy it and you're doing it for yourself? Who are you performing for, right? I don't know, just the idea of, because I wish I went into more detail about being performative and what's not. At least I look back at myself, I'm like, why do I take pictures? Why do I just take pictures at a museum with my back facing towards it? Like I have certain angle in my head. I want the pictures to turn out perfect. Why do I do those things? Like, is the moment, the memories I have for myself, is that not enough? But it's also like I want to able remember that. Sometimes I feel like it feels so insane that our body's able to do so much. The more I learn about it, the more I feel like I have no control. Everything you do, your eyes, fills in the blank of all the gap you're not seeing, right? The way you react and stuff like that. They're muscle memory. So am I reacting? Is it my body fight or flight? And then I also, it sounds kind of crazy, but I don't want to believe in like hormones and chemicals, imbalances in our body, because I feel like that doesn't dictate my life, right? It shouldn't dictate my life and who I am and stuff like that. All those things should not make me who I am. But when I was learning about psychologies and stuff like that, it's the getting prescription medications, drugs that suppress certain things that makes you a certain way. And I'm just like, I don't want that to be reality. And I talked to a psychiatrist because it works me so hard to finally go to a psychiatrist, right? And because you gotta get referrals and all this and that. And because I feel like therapy wasn't working, I was like, I don't need to talk out my problems. Me talking, me trying to solve it. I'm like, what are you there for? Stop giving me homework. But apparently that's what therapy is for. The whole time I was talking to a psychiatrist, I know that I feel like I'm trying to prove myself that, hey, I need help. Give me medications. I don't feel sane. And then she would just look at me, and the more I try to explain it, she was like, you'd be great with a therapist. And inside, I wanted to cry. Because it's like, what do you mean? Like, I worked so hard to finally get a psychiatrist for you to tell me I need to talk to someone. And then it's just like, she's like, you're not bipolar, because I'm not seeing all those things right now. And it's over time. It's not just daily things. And it feels like all the things I felt before, I'm like, I might not feel it that moment, but I don't want it to become a problem. And by the time I get the help I needed, it will be bad. Or I don't want to seek help when I needed the help. And now I feel normal. People see that I'm normal and just go on with that. And I just don't like that. That's the dishwasher. And then my brain just like, I don't know how I get to here really, but I feel like that's still who you are. And it feels like, oh, I remember why I was telling this story. She tells me that believe in the holistic, approach before medications and stuff, eating, exercising, and, doing all those things. And then what else? Diet, exercise, and I think, oh yeah, track my cycle, to see what part of my cycle, to see if I act a certain way. I looked into it, but I don't want to believe it. This is why. There's mostly 4 weeks in a month, right? 4 to 5 weeks in a month. And then your cycle, literally supposedly every single month. So I only have a 1 week to do certain thing, and I don't want that to dictate my life. And I feel like when I just feel like really emotionally not stable, it's not just a weekly thing based on part of my cycle. It's month after month after months. And I was like, okay, I felt kind of hopeless when I heard that. I'm like, I didn't want to do it because I feel like it's more than just, hey, my cycle dictates me. That means I can't do anything for the 3 weeks of my life out of the month, every single month. What can I achieve, right? If you want to still able to have a period, all that stuff and stuff. I don't want to talk into anything more, but it's just insane to me, right? And then talking about aesthetic, I was looking at pictures and stuff like that. I like to take pictures because my memory is not the best, and sometimes seeing it, hearing it, looking at the notes and stuff like that, why do I put down notes? Because I might not remember when I look at the picture, but I remember the notes I've written down and why I like it. Sometimes I may never use those videos or those pictures, but I have it there. I feel like it's proof that I exist in that moment in time. And I feel like there should be nothing wrong with that. I can take a picture of a book that I'm reading at a certain angle because I want things to be pleasant. I want things to be a certain angle, look right. And I don't think that should be performative. Reading a certain book, like, yeah, you can try new things. Like I tried Book Talk, it's not great. It's not good book recommendation. It's just straight up smut. Well, not all of it, but like the Book Talk hashtag. And I was like, why are people liking this? And then there are people commenting when I read Neon Gods. They're like, yeah, they're not good. The recommendation. I was like, oh, well, I wish I knew that before I got the book. The rating I stopped because they just keep describing him breathing and then really dumb decisions. I'm like, seriously, you just run across the street and the bridge, and then you be with this anonymous god that nobody knew existed. It was just freaking insane, the ratings. And I feel like people can write better. But back to the point. And I feel like, dude, all those things make me who I am. Like, how to be myself. Because every couple months, once or twice a year, or every couple years, I feel like I go on an ongoing crisis. I say ongoing because you don't know when is the middle of your life. So it can be a middle or the end of the life, right? So ongoing crisis of what is my purpose? What is my life for? Because before that, I remember watching a TED Talk video a while back. And then the person just trying to explain what the purpose is, people would ask them. And then the answers, I might be wrong because I've seen this years ago. It's very simple. Your name, your job, and then what your passion's about. And I was just like, is that what it is? Is your job who you are? Then do I love my job? Have I found my passion yet? I don't know. I feel like I've liked so many things, I don't know where to start, and I feel like I'm stuck. And then I just wanna be out there and just be like, I don't know, like, is the not knowing and not trying, and also trying and failing and trying and experience something, all of that make who you are. But it's also like, where, how, I don't know. It's just so much going on. And I'm just like, what is my purpose in life? And I remember, like, recently I thought, sometime before that, I thought, 25 is a good year to like be gone if anything happened. It's so dumb. I'm 25 and I'm like, I feel like before that I measure myself up to that year, and that's like not even, you just barely reach adulthood, right? And I feel like a couple years ago I measured myself to that. I was like excuse me, I feel like I haven't achieved life. I haven't achieved what I wanted. I don't know what I wanted, but I feel like I'm not as successful I would want, and all those things. And I'm like, 25 is such a short span, because I remember when I was very young, maybe in middle school, I would cry thinking about death, because the thought of death is scary. I think that's why I want to be more like morbidly curious, because maybe learning about the fact, the death industries and stuff, well, as a mortician, it's a really great resource for that, about death, and then knowing what goes in there, the choices and things, and then religions, maybe to understand what's beyond life, right? And I'm surprised that the people that I've asked about reincarnation believed in it. I don't know why, because I feel like, and then it got me thinking, if I believe in reincarnation, do I believe in religion? Do I believe good, the bad, the evil, heavens, hell? And there's different variations of like levels of heavens and hells and different religions and stuff like that, right? And then I think in Hinduism, it's just like to follow your dharma and then eventually escape the cycle, and then also Buddhism to escape the cycle of life. And then sometimes you don't reincarnate as a human, you incarnate as things and stuff depend on your lives and things. And then I'm just like, if I believe in reincarnation, or if somebody believe in reincarnation, would it make death less painful? Would it make love more lasting? Does it make sense? Because if you feel, if death is not the end, where does the new life begin? Do you have to fulfill your life in this lifetime if you feel like there's an infinity to life until you achieve something, enlightenment or something? Like, is there like do-over for you? It's like an infinite amount of attempts. You can go to heaven, you can go to hell, you can repeat and all that stuff. Like, where does it end if it's an ongoing cycle? And one thing that really fascinates me, it's just a cycle. It's just, there's a cycle. Everything is up and down and go around and repeat. The cycle of fashions, everything, like everything I learned, it just feels like it's just all connected. It's just so similar and so narrow. It's just like different concept, but it's just the same mindset, the same trends. It's just follow each other, and it's just, I don't know. Okay, just moving on. And then about love. Okay, if you think there's multiple lifetimes, there's able to reincarnate. The person you're with, is that your ultimate soulmate, your partner? Do you believe in soulmates and partner? Right? And if that's the case, will you be with them in this lifetime, in the next lifetime? Will you be with them infinitely? Would life just repeat itself? Like, is it just you meet the same finite amount of people over and over and over, different lifetime? Like, or do you meet them all at once, or you just do through different lifetime? How does that work? Do you repeat the same story? Are there parallel universe? Excuse me. I don't know. It just really got me thinking. It's just like, where's the end? I feel like because I didn't believe in an infinity, that was scary. Is it painful? Because I thought when I was little, will I be somebody that will be remembered hundreds and thousands of years from now? Or will I be forgotten? And also the Coco movie got me really sad, because it's like, what if the last person who ever heard or has a memory or know of me die? Will I be nothing? And then I remember when I learned about the sun gonna die in like billions of years, I cried as a kid, because my thought was, what about me? The earth, it will kill all of us if it's in extinction, because there's no life source, lights and warmth and stuff, right? But I'm just like, we will not live that long. But would I want an infinity, not able to age, and then seeing everyone around me vanish? Is that too greedy? And I remember my first time seeing fall, then winter, then spring, right? No. Spring, fall, winter. And the cycles repeat. It makes me so sad how fast from fall to winters. It just feels like it repeats itself for new life, new things to come out. But it's also like, it's the end. It's a new month. It's months and months. It's a new year. And then the years just go on and you get older and stuff. And I remember my first time witnessing season change, like actually see it with my eyes, like over time. And then I would drive the same way to work. And then I remember seeing the same landscape, and it changes in front of me every single day. I felt so happy and so scared. I feel like life is changing in front of me so fast, and then new things comes. But then the next year, this is my next year, and I'm just like, it's not as bad. I'm excited for new things to come and stuff. okay, that's get kind of sad. And I don't know, I'm just like, are we who we are for what we will be remembered by? Would my accomplishments be remembered? I remember watching about um the Nobel Peace Prize. The person who founded the foundation was not a good person. I think this is a Veritasium video. Was not a good person, and then it was a false news that he died, and he saw what people written about him, so he didn't want to be remembered that way. So he want to fix that and then have a foundations like the Peace Prize there. And I'm just like, all the people, all the wealthy people, able to control the lives because their wealth is way above majority of the people combined, right? Is that fair? Their lives doesn't matter more than mine, because obviously all the regular people, obviously, yeah, they have access to better things. They get to skip the line, they have all those things. So like, lives, who has more matter, and does it matter at the end of the day, right? If our life is insignificance compared to other, why do I care if I will be remembered, or if I'm who I am because I'm insignificant? And then another thing that got me thinking is, there are some of the artifacts and things that we seen and saw, we found and stuff, they might not be important people. I remember, I think it's on History Hits, that you see article of clothing and stories written about the wealthies and stuff, but there's also, it's not as more available, but of the commoners, what the commoners do, things they do to be alive, their, like the study of them, also important. It might not be as written or as well documented as others, or like Lucy, right? The skeleton that was found to be the first kind of like evidence of our humankind to walk on two legs. Who's Lucy? We don't know. But Lucy was important. She might never know her importance. And so many artists, they were starving while they were alive for their work to be recognized way after they die. It's so unfair. And I've seen people who were artists and things like that, coming from their mouth, they said that they're willing to spend X amount of years, do nothing, blah, 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 to eventually be recognized. And in my brain, just like, I want money right away. I want comfort. I want all those things. I don't want to suffer. I think maybe because I don't love it. I don't love it enough to give up the comfort. I don't love it enough to be doing things to be like the starving artist. Like, I will never want to be a starving artist. And is that wrong? I don't think so. And I'm happy with people who have their passions, and I feel like it's harder to manage that. But then when I ask people who was like trying to do things to support their dreams, doing a job, something they might not like, to support what they like on the side, my brain just like, I admire that. They don't admire that, because it's hard to manage all things to make your dream come true. I admire that you have something to strive forward, that you want to eventually be successful in something and make it your full-time, like it's no longer a hobby or something like that. And I'm just like, what am I good at? What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? I don't know. And I feel like I don't feel as pressure as before, but honestly, to be honest, I cry about the same thing over again, because it feels like, why do I exist on this earth without a purpose? And then it got me thinking. It's gonna turn morbid, okay? Trigger warning. That when people commit suicide, their family, their friends do not talk about their grand actions, their action of the biggest achievement of it. They talk about how kind the person is, how much they mean to them, and all those things. And I remember seeing videos and things like that of people who's like getting out their depressions. It's like the smallest things it's the most insignificant things that make you want to stay alive. That's what matters. And then it got me thinking, I have to constantly remind me that I don't have to be the greatest person. I don't need to be the most ambitious person. I don't need to be the most wealthy, makes the most money, be the best person ever. I don't have to be liked by everyone. The people like you kind of like you. The people don't, that's kind of dumb. Not like you, and people that are gonna stick by you. Well, but if you wrong them, you know, like you have that coming kind of thing. But you don't have to be the best version of yourself to be loved. And how sad is that we think that we have to be perfect for people to accept us, right? Because I remember thinking of like, oh, you know, why would someone do this for me? Why would someone do that for me? Because they care. I remember, I know somebody, and I'm just like, one time I just got thinking, I'm just like, gosh, I love you as a person. To like a friend. I never said this, but I'm just like, I love you as a person, that everything that troubles you, I want to make it out of your way to get out of your way. And I don't see it as flaw. But then I'm just like, from an outside perspective, if you don't like the person, if you don't know them, you think everything the person do is a flaw. Everything they do and every distractions and things like that is a flaw. And I'm just like, I look at me and I'm just like, that's why I don't like the idea of being a traditional woman where your worth tied to a man. You are nothing without the man. You are nothing without your husband. You're doing things because it's expected, the double standard. But the guys get praised for holding the door. The guys get praised for playing with the kids. It's your children, right? And then it's expected women to be uneducated, this and that. And I'm just like, you don't have to be hard to love. It's just text the right person. And sometimes it's just like, convince yourself that all these things is allowed. So some people, they're just like, oh, you spoil your friends, you spoil your partners and things like that. It's okay because they deserve it. Because not as much anymore, but I'm just like, you don't have to learn to cook, and just that idea, you know to cook, take care of a family, this and that, in order to form a family, in order to be with someone. Like, the person who loves you not gonna choose you over your cooking skill. They can cook for you. Like, why does it have to be one way? They can care for you. Like, we can eat out, something like that. Like, it's not those things that make somebody likes you. And then I feel like sometimes we have to remind ourselves, even at our like lowest, that you're worthy of the love. And sometimes you don't see that. For some people, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, shut up. I just want to care for you. Just let me, and stuff. And then they just don't see how great of a person they are. And sometimes I have somebody who just keep praising me and then saying all the amazing things that they see I'm capable of, and then my brain just like, you're lying, you're so fake, because my brain cannot process. Like, why do you think those things are me? Like, I might not feel that way, but I may show that, oh, I'm acting this in that way, but they might not know how I feel deep inside, but they see potential. And then for some people, I see potential in them, but they don't see it, and it hurts so much sometimes, because it's like, you can't see how good you are. You just see your flaws. And sometimes I feel like I'm like so mean to myself. So I know this gonna come back again, but I just like to tell me that it's okay. Sometimes taking one day at a time. I don't have to be the best version every single time, but I'm better than before. Sometimes it's putting consistent effort in, and looking back, you will always cringe as your older self, but it's like, look how far I've come. I cannot measure to other people, but I can measure to myself, because they don't know your story. They don't know where you come from, or like what roadblocks and stuff. And same with other people, you know, right? Unless you talk to them and then learn more about the person. But I think the questions of like, what's your purpose in life, should not be the big answer. It should not be to save the world. You can't, like, it's the small actions. And sometimes I just feel like, it feels like the world is burning. Why am I here? I cannot put it out. I can't do anything. Sometimes it feels like that. And I remember there's a post, if I can find it again. It was like, when the world is like in chaos, like, why you care about art? Because art, honestly, for me, like I already explained it, art is everything. Everything can be art. Graffiti, writing, poetry, and all that stuff. It's a way for people to express themselves in times of needs, and people express them differently. Our brains work differently and stuff. So you don't have to worry about how it looks to people. At the end of the day, it's like, how do you feel with yourself? Do you feel do you feel truthful to who you are? Do you feel honest with yourself? And sometimes it's like very deep dive, which is you knowing the answer. Because I thought of just like, you know, if I like this thing because it's not as popular, when it becomes popular, I don't like it anymore. I don't have to do that. People are allowed to like things. I can like things that are part of, you know, the mainstream because I like it. And I can be part of a group that share those things, but also be my unique self and like some things that's more niche, and that's for another group of people. Understand? And it's like, I remember thinking, I'm just like, we have so many personalities. We're not talking about like personality disorder, BP. I'm talking about the different versions of ourselves that we show to different people. And sometimes I'm just like, is it still me? Yes, it's still me. It's just I present myself very differently to everyone, or to some people. And it doesn't make it wrong. Right? I can be mean to someone that I don't like. I can be nice to someone. I can be stern to someone. I can be, and you can be. And then sometimes I feel like lost, where it's just like I'm laughing, right? And it's just an ongoing joke just going on, and then we're all just joining into one big joke. And then in that moment, while I'm laughing, enjoying the time, and I'm just like, am I doing all these things to distract myself, or am I really enjoy it? When did I stop enjoying it, where it becomes a performance? But I'm like, does it matter if I'm having fun at the end of the day? Maybe it doesn't matter to dig too much into, you know, my thoughts and things and stuff like that, because sometimes our brains just spiraling. Our thoughts just keep going on and on and on, and we doubt ourselves. I feel like I'm just talking in circle now, but it's just like I'm more than my, I think I'm my brain. I'm the things that I do, and I'm beyond my looks. Because I remember one video, I think it's by Vsauce. It's like what makes you you, or what makes you human, or things like that. And it's just like, your limbs doesn't make you who you are. You can lose your limbs, but you still you. Would your intelligence make you who you are? Would it be your DNA? Would your memory make who you are? If people with dementias and things like that, like the people around you still remember who you are, even if you've forgotten part of that. It is just like what makes us who we are is so complex. I don't think there's one solid answer for that. And it's okay not knowing, it's okay to be so confused. And it's alright to find people, your community, and just express it. And yeah, because sometimes people see your worth without you seeing it, and sometimes it takes a very, very long time to convince you or the other person your view. And it doesn't mean one person is completely right, one person is completely wrong. And it's just like ongoing. Like I might feel my best right now, and it might be my lowest way later on. Doesn't mean I'm not who I am. I'm just presenting a different version, a different of me. But it's also about how people around me view me, people that loves me and all that stuff. So I feel like it's not about the materialistic things, it's not about the physical things that make us our true self. That's not how we become our authentic self. It's everything combined. I think it's the ongoing effort of having another day. I feel like you can make mistakes, you can fall, you can be at your proudest moment, but keep pushing and keep being the better versions or improving on the versions. And then also feeling mid is also okay, because for some, I've seen a video, I honestly don't remember who it was from. It was like, for some people it doesn't get better. This person is in chronic pain. It was like, oh, getting better, one surgery, it's just more to more and more surgery. So the day doesn't get better, the months, the year doesn't get better. It's just always okay. It's just things are not improving, things are just a little ish bad. I don't know, it's just like sometimes it's okay to feel not okay. There's also drama about that, so watch it. Honestly, I don't want to make this too long, but I honestly had no plan for this, and it's just going on. And I think this was like a really great topic to kind of like talk about, because I don't know the answer. Honestly, if there's a question, first, the automatic answer is no, or you don't know and you're figuring it out. And I think I'm still figuring it out, because it's just like, what if you feel like you're lying to people, but people see the real you? Like, does it make it yourself still, and you're still discovering? I honestly don't know. But I'm like, I think that's what the thoughts of predestination scares me, or the part that we're in a simulation scares me, because I'm like, I wanna be an identity. I want to have control over my life. But then the more I look about it, I was like, we're not having control over our lives. There's the governments who let us do and not do a certain things that prevent our potential, this and that. There is the place where you're born, yeah, also tied to government and geographic. There's our memories, there's our body parts, their muscles, and all those things that dictates our physical ability, our mental capacity. So I don't know the answer. I just hope that you do and feel the best. Not the best. Honestly, some people it's just who you are. Sometimes it might not be a solid answer. It could be a book you like. It's a collections of everything you love and not love. I feel as long as there's a reason for it, it just makes you worthy of a person. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I hope you like this talk. I don't know what's gonna be in the next 2 weeks. I don't know. I will probably try to stay on schedule, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you if you like it. Like and subscribe. I'm not gonna edit this, so if there's just like silence for some parts and stuff, my apologies. But yeah, thank you.